With him is Arthur Whittington. Both dangerous return men. For Oakland, they can play it ever so loose tonight. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, well, they have to be just a little tight. But they have been playing superb football over the past few weeks. We're underway. This will be Arthur Whittington. And down the sideline goes Whittington. Out over the 35-yard line, hit there by Mel Blount. And let's take a look at the offensive unit of the Oakland Raiders, led by Marc Wilson. Last week against Seattle, down by 21 points in the third quarter. Wilson got control of this offensive team to win 32-31. He was 20 of 33, 3 touchdowns, and 218 yards. Living up to the promise that he gave as a senior at Brigham Young. The Pittsburgh Steelers will alternate their defensive unit in a little different fashion than you have become used to over the years, as they open now with a 4-3 against Marc Wilson. The motion man is Bob Chandler. And on first down, Wilson with a lot of time, strong-arming it out to Cliff Branch. And Branch comes down with it with a great catch out at the 28-yard line, working against Mel Blount, one of the premier cornerbacks.
That's the key matchup you're going to see tonight when Oakland goes to the air. Even when Blount was young, as you look at it in ISO, he had trouble handling Branch. Now Blount has trouble almost against anyone in one-on-one coverage, and Branch is still one of the best. So watch this all night tonight, part of the Oakland game plan.
27-yard line, 38-yard pickup, and the crowd is immediately on their feet. Derek Jensen, 31. This is Kenny King, however, 33. Those are your setbacks for the Oakland Raiders. Gain of about a yard. It'll be second down and 9. That's your defensive unit. Bob Coors, good pass rusher, along with John Goodman. They are 2 second-year men. The linebackers, well, maybe Jack Lambert is having the best year of his 8-year career. Just playing great in the middle linebacking position. Leading the club in tackles. Tied for the lead with 5 interceptions. Number 58, Jack Lambert. You'll see him all over the field tonight. Second down and 9. Again, Wilson with all the time in the world. Bobbles the football and is taken by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Struggling with the football. Jack Ham, he is always around the football.
John Goodman was the guy Frank had knocked out when loose. He had plenty of time to throw. And I think the Steelers let down for a little bit. Let's take another look and we'll see what I'm talking about. Good time there on the outside. You'll see Coors try to make a move, and here comes Goodman, number 95. Big right hand in there and knocks it loose. And Ham, as you mentioned, is right there close to the ball always.
Marc Wilson, a big target, and Goodman was there. Ham recovers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have the football. Their own 19-yard line will lead the Steelers offense to the line of scrimmage. He has 21 touchdown passes on the year, but 8 of those 21 touchdown passes have come in the last 3 games. The handoff is to Franco Harris. Harris gets a yard. Hit there by Matt Millen. There's Terry Bradshaw. Earlier in the year, he had his problems. He was having his troubles. He wanted to go deep. Chuck Noll wanted him to keep it short. He finally said, Chuck, you call the plays. But now they are back to sharing the play-calling duties. Head coach Chuck Noll and Terry Bradshaw.
As long as Swan and Stallworth are healthy, Pittsburgh has Super Bowl championship dreams. When they're not, another story.
There they are, bottom of your screen. The 2 wide receivers. This is Sidney Thornton making another start tonight for an injured Frank Pollard. Frank Pollard had won that job after Sidney Thornton in the opening game against Kansas City coughed it up 4 times, and Frank Pollard became a starter, so he damaged his knee a couple of weeks ago. And Thornton gets a couple. Third down and a long 6. Now the 3 wide receivers in. We talk often of Swan and Stallworth, but Jim Smith, who comes in as the 3rd wide receiver, is also a gifted one. Third down, long 6, the ball just inside the 23-yard line. Bradshaw. Going to Stallworth, a pass that could have been caught even though it was low, and the Steelers will bring on their punting unit.
Dandy, it seems to me there are some interesting human interest stories here tonight.
That's one right there.
Look at Plunkett right there.
Yeah.
He came in woefully overweight to training this year. He was on the chicken circuit all year long after the Cinderella year of a year ago. And finally, they had no choice but to bench him in favor of young Wilson.
There's Ted Watts, the rookie first-round draft pick from Texas Tech for Oakland, awaiting the kick of Craig Colquitt, who has to hurry to get it off. It takes a Pittsburgh Steeler bounce and continues to bound inside the 30-yard line. Not a good kick, but Colquitt gets a lot out of it as it rolls to the 25-yard line. 53-yard effort by the end-over-end kick of Craig Colquitt, and Oakland will have possession once again at their 25-yard line. Back into the Raider huddle, brings the Oakland Raiders up to the line of scrimmage at the 25-yard line. Second possession for Oakland. Skinny King, left side. King is met by Jack Lambert. There will be a loss of a yard.
He read that one, didn't he?
Stepped in behind that pulling guard, and he was right in the Oakland backfield. He is so quick.
Technique that middle linebacker has, really, truly, they sit back there, they key off the different backs sometimes, and sometimes they key off the guards. But he just stepped right in there that time, caught him behind the line of scrimmage. Good move. Intensity, that's what he plays with, isn't it? Intensity.
Good branch, split far to the left. His reception at the opening play of the game was his 400th career reception. This is King again on the draw play. He gets to the ridge of the line of scrimmage, and that is it. It'll be third down and near 10 yards as Chuck Noll talks it over with Terry Bradshaw. Chuck Noll, who came in 1969 after a career with the Cleveland Browns, tutored under Sid Gilman and Don Shula. His first season back in '69, 1-13.
Changed to all that.
He turned it around. They won 4 Super Bowls during his tenure.
6 of the last 7 Super Bowls, Frank, have been won by these two teams. That'll tell you something.
Only Dallas in '77 intervened
against Denver.
Marc Wilson, third and long. Again, a lot of time. Almost picked off by Mel Blount.
And why didn't he? That looked like he had plenty of time to pick that one off.
Stepped right in front of Derek Ramsey, and Blount could have been in the end zone. Ray Geigers, and he has troubles with a back problem. He has been in traction twice in the last 2 weeks. Nevertheless, he is an athlete and a tough one indeed.
Didn't practice all week, Frank. Before the game, it took him about 6 minutes, and then he seemed to have the rhythm again.
Larry Anderson, you see, fine return man for the Steelers. He's at the 35-yard line of the Steelers. The Steelers should have good field position. This one does not turn over. Anderson lets it bounce, and it takes a Pittsburgh bounce and goes out of bounds near the 41-yard line. So the Steelers, with their second possession, will be in fine field position following a 34-yard effort by Ray Guy. We'll be back in a moment. Cincinnati, a win tonight for the Steelers. And they will be 1 game behind Cincinnati, and they play them at home next Sunday. On 1st and 10, Bradshaw is back. Bradshaw, a lot of time. Stallworth is there, and he does not hold on.
I think that's 2 passes, and it's very uncharacteristic of Stallworth. But he could have caught the other third down pass. That one was right in the numbers.
Threw over Lester Hayes. It was a perfectly thrown ball.
Reverse angle look at this. We'll see Terry, of course, had good time to throw.
You'll never see a better one either.
Look at that ball. It just sits right in there. That is one. Whoa, that is right there.
The
only thing Terry didn't do is catch it for him.
That's right. Yeah, Johnny will come back and make one for him. That's the way you swap those things out. You know, you throw one high or low and behind them, and they'll catch one of those and say, okay, we're even.
Cool night, 55 degrees. Second down and 10. The Steelers at their own 41-yard line. Thornton gets out of the traffic and moves up over the 45 to the 46-yard line. It'll be third down and about 4. Rod Martin is having a great year defensively for the Oakland Raiders, who've been troubled by so many injuries, made the stop.
It's an example that time of how when you have blitzing linebackers, they over-blitz or overrun the situation. They hit Thornton, couldn't bring him down, didn't really see the ball there. He stumbled around and broke through. There were no linebackers to knock him off.
Swan goes right with Stallworth. Out to the left is Jim Smith. The single setback, Sidney Thornton. Bradshaw has the time once again, going for Swan. Almost one-hands it.
Oh, what an interception.
And what an interception by Lester Hayes.
Now
they're saying no.
Oh, no, to give it to him. That was too good. Had 18 interceptions a year ago, counting his postseason. He's only had 2 this year, and they've been very discouraged. But Lester Hayes has been beaten maybe a little bit more this year.
Not a bad move here by Lynn either, Don. Look at that.
Yeah, the ball was thrown over to the other side. He tries to grab it. Lester Hayes was behind it. Great concentration, isn't it? You've got to give that to him.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking about
proper
it.
call. No, sure. Proper call.
What?
He saw the ball on the ground.
Oh, boy, man, he caught that ball. What are you talking about?
If he did,
we had a scoop. Is that what you're going to say?
Well, we have a 4th down with Craig Colquitt punting.
That was an interception.
Ted Watts standing at his 13-yard line. Colquitt looking for the sideline, hangs it high instead. Fair catch called for and executed at the 11-yard line. But the rookie from Texas Tech.
Can't believe that wasn't an interception.
You look at a player like Watts, drafted by the Oakland Raiders. They still think he's going to be a great player, defensive back. Let's look at it from the reverse angle, Dandy.
Frank, Lynn did make a terrific adjustment. The ball, he was looking over his other shoulder. All right, let's see. He's got the ball up. Hey, I've got it right there. What are you talking about? He has control of that thing. No, he dropped it.
Come on, he dropped it.
Well, I didn't see that side. That's the wonderful thing about a reverse angle. See, that's when we got that stuff this year.
First down and 10. Oakland at their 11-yard line. Derek Jensen, left side, no yardage. This is another place where the Raiders have been hurt with an injury. Their great fullback, Marc Van Eegen, has missed much of the season. He's on injury reserve with a knee problem. Derek Jensen has just under 400 yards filling in for Van Eegen.
Point I was going to make, an inside point. There was disagreement in the Oakland camp whether to draft Watts or Chris Collinsworth, the great receiver now with Cincinnati. Now today, Davis wishes they had drafted Collinsworth, though he still believes in Watts.
2nd down and 9.
Good play here.
Kenny King around the right side gets a tremendous block out in front, and Kenny King is out for a first down to the 25-yard line. Donnie Shell defensively there for the Steelers. Good block out in front by Derek Jensen, number 31.
It's a good offensive formation. You see a guy go in motion. Pittsburgh's defense didn't make the adjustment. There's no one out there. Lead blocker does come back out on Ham, makes a terrific block. Kenny King is out there. That was not a bad block, not a bad tackle by Donnie Shell.
They have marked it just inside the 25-yard line. First down and 10, the Oakland Raiders. Kenny King, left side, piled up. It's a yard and a half. Jack Ham, the bottom of that pile, and as usual, Jack Lambert in on the effort. Now they'll mark it close to the 27. So it'll be 2nd down along 7.
But Jack Ham there, and as Frank said on Jack Ham's first play when he recovered the Marc Wilson fumble, always around the ball. Ham, 11 years. Ted Hendricks, 13 years. Another of the human interest stories involving these two teams.
2nd down. Jensen to the outside, and Jensen runs out to Mel Blunt and Bob Coors out there, right at the line of scrimmage.
It's a good defensive read that time by Lambert, who apparently saw something from studying films and knew exactly where that play was going. You could see him turn around and yell to his defensive teammates, and they got over there in a hurry.
What a tough cookie that man is.
Not that big either, 6'4", 220.
Doesn't look like your middle linebacker. Got long, skinny legs, and just kind of seems to get them going at the right place at the right time.
Time remaining in the first quarter. We have no score. It's 3rd down and 6. Oakland near their own 28-yard line. Kenny King is in motion, and Marc Wilson is back.
Good time to throw.
Man is wide open, and it's Bob Chandler. Not gifted with all that speed, but boy, can he work a cornerback, and particularly if he gets isolated on a one-on-one as he was there.
Man suffered a ruptured spleen in the opening game of the year as you look at it in replay against Denver. A game that Oakland still thinks it was robbed of because Upchurch was called inbounds when Oakland thought he was out of bounds on a critical catch. Denver won that game 9-7. And they lost Chandler, and there was no way they could. It's a miracle that he's back playing.
First down and 10. Oakland started at their 11. They worked their way to their own 40-yard line. Wilson again with all the time in the world, and this time going to Branch. Branch was covered out there by Mel Blunt. Also dropping back Robin Cole, number 56. It'll be second down and 10. What a remarkable record this young man had at Brigham Young. He's had 11 NCAA college records. At one point, Don, I think you'll find this interesting, he had 7 straight 300-yard games.
I tell you, they do a lot
They do that at Brigham Young.
At Brigham Young, they've got something working up there.
What about McMahon?
Well, I'll try this one. He had 511 yards in a game against Utah.
Yeah, I like that one even better, maybe. That's awfully hard to do.
They do that to Utah, I guess. Second down and 10. Kenny King. Blockers out in front. Steeler defense formidable. However, the ball comes loose. And now we get the indication that the Raiders are back on top of it. The big tight end, Derek Ramsey, covering the fumble.
In the Steelers' last 3 wins, the defense has accounted for 12 interceptions, 5 fumbles, and sacked enemy quarterbacks 9 times. They've been playing pretty good ball these last 3 games.
Third down and 8. Marc Wilson. This is 2 wide receivers. Cliff Branch, 21, Bob Chandler to the bottom of the screen.
Looks like he's lined up offside.
Wilson again with all the time finds Chandler. Chandler has the first down. He's inside the 35-yard line. Follows the ball. This time the Steelers come up with it.
The halt and a half.
J.T. Thomas put the hit on Chandler.
That's 2 critical fumbles by Oakland, which came into this game a fired-up team, but you can't give the ball away. Here's the end zone replay, Don.
This is not an indication of what Pittsburgh's been doing in the last few weeks. They're giving him plenty of time to throw. Wide open over the middle. Couldn't stay with him that long. You see him try to come in behind. The ball drops out right there. Jump on it. Jump on it. There you go. You got it.
It's Dwayne Woodruff that took it really out of the hands of Mel Blunt, and we have an injured Steeler down. It's Jack Lambert.
Uh-oh.
Jack Lambert is being treated by the medical crew of the Steelers. We'll be back in Oakland in just a minute. Raiders have turned it over twice, both times in Steeler territory. Fumbled by the quarterback, Marc Wilson. And now Bob Chandler has coughed it up. First and 10, the Steelers inside the 35-yard line. Sidney Thornton in motion. This is Franco Harris. Cutting back against the grain. He does so well. Getting 4 yards. Here's Jack Lambert.
Tell you, Frank, if that man's out for any period of time, they're not the same team. No way Dennis Winston can replace him.
I think maybe as much, not even as far as his ability, Howard, but I think it's just the presence that he has earned as being the leader of that defensive unit. That's the thing that's tough. When you lose that leader, people are looking around and saying, well, wait a minute, who's going to do this? And Lambert's always been the guy that comes up with the big plays and keeps them in line. He calls those defenses out there.
He is an emotional player, and he gives the entire defensive unit a goose. Second down and 6. Franco Harris.
Good defensive play.
Defensive play made by Burgess Owens.
Came up to talk to me on the field before the game. He said, I'm so happy here, you have no idea. Why wouldn't he be? Traded away by the Jets, originally a #1 draft choice. He suddenly blossomed out with Oakland, part of a Super Bowl winner.
They got him for a 6th-round draft pick a year ago.
Unbelievable.
Third down long for Bradshaw. Jim Smith in. He's, of course, the 3rd wide receiver. There was a blitz, and it was picked up this time. John Stallworth. Well, they ruled it incomplete. I thought he had that one for a moment.
I thought he had made one of them back for Terry and said, I made one of these great catches. We've seen him make so many good ones through the years, you can't expect him to catch anything close. The offense for Pittsburgh has not been able to put anything together so far.
Bradshaw now 0 of 4. And you could say the 3 of them were not his fault. Colquitt is found, and there's Ted Watts once again. Averaging just under 8 yards per return. He placed Ira Matthews, who was released earlier in the year as a return man for Oakland. Colquitt takes it to the right. Here comes Ted Watts. And down goes Ted Watts, hustling down there, number 29, Ron Johnson. 41-yard punt, and Oakland's offensive unit comes back out onto the field. And they'll be operating from inside their 25-yard line. Final word, Tom Flores to Marc Wilson. Scoreless game and a very important game for the Pittsburgh Steelers here in Oakland. We have 4:33 remaining in the first quarter. The Oakland Raiders, led by young Marc Wilson, have a first down and 10. The ball just over the 24-yard line. Wilson making his 8th start tonight. He won 4 and lost 3 of his previous 7 games. And on first down, Wilson will drop once again. Coming out of the backfield, Kenny King doesn't hold on. The ball thrown slightly behind him now as a setback for the Oakland Raiders. We have rookie Frank Hawkins in there from the University of Nevada at Reno. He's a 10th-round draft pick, and has been quite a surprise.
To see L.C. Greenwood and Joe Green back in there is one of the changes I think, Howard, you were alluding to earlier. They've seen so many things that have happened on these two teams, but they're playing spot play now rather than starting. And I think it's not a bad idea because both of them have some good football left in them. They're trying to get a pass rush. They haven't had one tonight.
Jack Lambert also back in the lineup, so he's all right. Second down and 10. Wilson back once again.
There, they're getting one.
Down he goes. Steelers raining all over Marc Wilson. Joe Green was in there, but the real strength was coming from Gary Dunn, who has been the leading sacker for the Steelers, who, by the way, have really turned that statistic around. Last year they only had 18.
A year ago.
Came in tonight with 31. That's the 32nd of the year.
Frank, that is an interesting statistic because last year everybody said that was really the big telltale sign of that defensive unit in general and the defensive line in particular. They couldn't get a pass rush. They lead the league in interceptions, but they're getting those sacks too.
Just what you said a moment ago, Don. Out goes L.C. Greenwood, Joe Green, Beasley and Gifford back in. Third down, long yardage, Wilson. Wilson finds Cliff Branch. He drops the football.
He came way back to try to pick up that one from 10 yards down the field, hit him in the hands, and dropped it. Wouldn't have gained much anyway.
Yeah, we're seeing some of the best receivers in football having a drop time holding on to the ball tonight.
They're playing dropsy, except for Bob Chandler. He's kind of a magician anyway.
Great guy again. He's averaging over 44 yards on the season, but again, he has been troubled the past couple of weeks. There's Larry Anderson. The Steelers' 40-yard line. They're anticipating good field position.
Can't get it to turn over.
He does a turnover, and Anderson has time. He does not have the fair catch. But the Raider special team hustling down, corrals Anderson down around the 47-yard line. I'll remind you, Saturday, and all this Saturday, you'll find it right here on ABC. Steelers again have good field position. The ball inside their own 48-yard line. Bradshaw has to go to Franco Harris. And Harris is inside Oakland territory near the 47 for a gain of 5. He's in the arms of Ted Hendricks.
This is the third time Bradshaw's had good field position. You can't expect any defense to keep containing Bradshaw and the team with the receivers of Pittsburgh forever. There's Jack Lambert.
Team effort, however, for the Steelers. The ball at the 47-yard line of the Raiders. This is Greg Hawthorne, and Hawthorne has a first down close to the 40-yard line, hit there by Rod Martin. That's only the 17th attempt for this #1 draft pick from Baylor 3 years ago.
7 yards on the play.
A lot of nagging injuries in his young career.
Bussing did that, so did Hawthorne. Thornton was the one that really dropped it.
First down, Steelers. Inside Oakland's 41-yard line. Still no score. First quarter winding down. Franco Harris, the checkoff man again. And this time, he eludes Rod Martin, stays inbounds, and works his way short of a first down to the 33-yard line, where he's taken by Monty Jackson.
Unusual play by Martin that time, who is not one of the bigger linebackers, but he usually has great position. He does have good speed. That time, just left himself a little bit out of position. The ball was completed. He missed the tackle.
As Frank earlier noted, Martin's having a remarkable year. He's got 10 sacks. Hendricks was the sack leader a year ago.
Bradshaw straightens things out with Hawthorne and Franco Harris. Now he looks over a second down and about 2.5. Hawthorne. Big opening in the middle. And Hawthorne works his way to the 17-yard line before Burgess Owens makes the stop. It's a Steeler first down, and the Steelers are on a drive.
Got him in a good tight defense. Had a little quick trap up the middle. Might even have been an audible that time. See the lead block. Left guard coming in on the inside. Makes a nice move. Opens it up, and there he goes.
We probably should have noted for the Steelers' offensive line, Tunch Ilkin has replaced Larry Brown.
That's Greg Woodley that made that block.
For Ilkin, he is going against John Matuzak.
Butch.
Quick count on first down. Bradshaw.
Oh, yeah.
Fires, and it's complete. And there will be another first down at the 6-yard line as John Stallworth stops the clock.
He's working them over now. The Pittsburgh Steelers are on a roll. The early going dominated by Oakland. Fumbles, 2 of them, really wrecked them up. There's the ISO on Stallworth.
Terry had a little difficulty in getting this ball off. Had some pressure. Had to kind of hold it down a little bit. Let the defensive man jump. And kind of really threw it around him. On the money again.
That reception for Stallworth. Now he has caught at least one pass in 60 consecutive games. First down, goal to go. Greg Hawthorne. Hawthorne hammering and struggling inside the 5-yard line. It'll be second down and goal to go.
Fumbled by Wilson on the 20. A fumble by Chandler on the 35. Both in Pittsburgh territory. Stopped the early Oakland drives. Now it's Pittsburgh.
Seconds ticking off here in the first quarter. 20 seconds remaining, and well, I'd like to note we have had no penalty flags. Russell Davis, 45. Greg Hawthorne, 27. Those are setbacks. Bradshaw's back to safety blitz. Holding on to the ball is Benny Cunningham, who's having his best year by far.
He threw that ball right through the hands of Burgess Owens. Burgess Owens had a better position to catch that than Benny Cunningham did.
Cunningham had to catch it.
He did. That ball was rifled out there.
Might have given him a concussion had he not caught it. And Bradshaw doing all of that as Otis McKinney was on the safety blitz right in his face. Here's David Trout. He's brought the thrill back to the extra point for the Steelers. He really has. He's missed 7 this year.
They say. Oh, well. I'm not going to say that. Look.
And Trout is successful, and a sigh of relief escapes the Steeler bench.
They've got him listed at 5'6", and I think they're stretching it.
Here comes Otis McKinney right on your left. He's right in his face, Don.
All right, then this is the reverse angle. He'll jump up. Then look at Terry rifle the ball, and here's Burgess Owens. And Burgess says, I can't believe the ball got there that quickly. And it just went right between him, right over his head.
The ball was smoking.
Yeah, and Benny says, I'm just going to catch it. I don't care what you think.
That was the 36th reception of the year. The best Cunningham has ever done in the past was 36 in 79, and his 3rd touchdown of the year. He's playing up to the potential that they thought he had when he came up 6 years ago as the #1 draft pick.
That heaviest burden in line. Great potential. Benny's trying to do it.
Dropping deep. Willis, number 38, Chester Willis, the rookie from Auburn. Also back there, Whittington, number 22. Here's Tiny David. Short kick.
And out of bounds.
And out of bounds, and now Trout will be kicking from his own 30-yard line.
One of the reasons they kept Trout
Exactly.
was to get that ball into the end zone.
Into the end zone.
Yeah.
And the gun sounds, ending the first quarter.
How do you know what I was going to say?
Because it was self-evident.
Oh, then maybe I shouldn't have said it at all. I mean, everybody must have known that.
It's possible after you see the same teams
I guess
and the
you're
same
right.
players all year.
It's late in the year. What can I say?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, they had Matt Barr there, and of course Matt was being a kind of a hometown favorite, being a Penn State fella. Some were quite surprised they let him go and kept Trout.
Time for the first quarter has expired. We will change sides and re-kick 5-yard penalty.
Good idea, Jim.
Jim Tunney, our referee tonight. The first time we've heard from him. We don't have anything against him. We just hope we don't hear from him a lot this evening. And here in Oakland, the Pittsburgh Steelers leading 7-0.
Oakland has decided to change quarters. Receive from this end. Kickoff will be from the 30-yard line.
He's a pistol, that Sonny. He makes speeches all over the country. Colorful character. Knows his business inside out.
That's the best part he likes of his job, is being able to stand out in the middle of the stadium for 75 feet and have a microphone and talk to him.
He's the showboat.
Yeah.
Why not?
Willis 38 and Whittington 22 are deep for Oakland. This time David Trout hammers it deep to the 5-yard line following the penalty. And hustling down there, number 30 was Larry Anderson. And Oakland drops out onto the field. Let's take a look at the stats from the first quarter. They'll have possession at their 27-yard line.
All right, there they are. You see how even they are in most areas except for yards passing, and that's largely the long one from Wilson, the Cliff Branch, and the early going. The real difference, the 2 turnovers I've mentioned. The fumble by Wilson, the fumble by Chandler, which took the momentum away from Oakland, and Pittsburgh finally fulfilled on field position.
Dennis Winston, 53, defensively now for Lambert for the Steelers. Wilson back on first down. Strong arm. And Blunt and Branch go at it again. Incomplete.
That's the matchup we talked about earlier. And both Mel Blunt and Donnie Shell, who used to be superb on one-on-one coverage when they're younger, no longer are. And they can be taken advantage of. They are still both great hitters, particularly Shell.
You can see by Branch coming back that the ball, although thrown a long way, was still underthrown maybe about 4 yards. Had he been able to get it 4 or 5 more yards, Cliff Branch with his speed could possibly have accelerated and caught that one. He did have a step or two on Mel Blunt.
Second down and 10. The Raiders, their own 27-yard line. Here comes the blitz. And there goes Wilson, buried. Back to the 20-yard line. The Steelers with their second sack of the night.
I think that's one of the things young quarterbacks have to learn, is how to handle the pressure. He didn't have that much pressure that time. They got close, and he tucked it under his arm and said, okay, I'm going to go down with it. As time goes on, the more he plays, he'll be able to get into more of a rhythm and get those passes off just as he's getting hit.
But, Dandy, you hit the nub of it. His problem is in reading defenses, and he becomes tentative. And experience will change that.
He who hesitates is lost, somebody once said, and that applies to quarterbacks who are facing a blitz.
You were great handling the blitz.
Third down, 16, 21-yard line.
There's nobody blitzing that time.
This time, Mel Blunt comes up with it.
Now, that was a poorly thrown ball.
No question.
And the Steelers get another turnover. They'll be at the 27-yard line. That is the 52nd career interception for this man, Mel Blunt, who started his 104th consecutive game tonight, and that ties Jack Butler's all-time Steeler record of 52 interceptions.
This is when we usually say, look how much time he has to throw. No wonder it's completed. He got wired in trying to come over here to this side. I'm sure in their scouting report, they probably are trying to go after Blunt. He was trying to hit Kenny King that time, but this threw the ball. Should not have thrown that ball.
27-yard line. Steelers. Great field position once again. Play action. Bradshaw scrambles, looks to John Stallworth, incomplete.
There he may have been hit a little bit there. Looks like he's holding his arm down there. Still a little scattering around. And
Ted Hendricks gave him quite a shot.
Ted Hendricks will give anyone quite a shot. There he is. The defensive player of the year a year ago could beat you every single way. A free spirit. Not your typical linebacker in the Dick Butkus sense. A guy who's allowed to go on his own. Sort of rover fashion in college ball.
Wait, you're not calling Dick Butkus a typical linebacker, right?
No. But a pure linebacker in the sense of what a linebacker's supposed to be.
The ones we've seen more often than not.
Second down and 10. Hawthorne taken by Dave Browning on a fine defensive play, and the loss is all the way back to the 34-yard line. It will be third and long.
There's the man with the head, Mel Blunt. That was his 52nd career interception. It ties, as you see, the Steeler record.
Jack Butler was a kid I played with in the expansion team down in Dallas in 1960. He was really
St. Bonaventure. What a back he was.
St. Bonaventure?
That's where he went.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He was some defensive back. You know what he does now, Frank?
No.
He's with the Steeler organization, I know. I see him a lot. Scouting, I believe. And we may see Malone coming in. The only other quarterback that the Steelers have is Bradshaw was shaken up. He was
hurt his arm,
on a scramble a while ago. Bradshaw being looked at the sideline. We'll get the quickest word we can. For x-rays, he was holding his right hand. He was hit by Ted Hendricks on a scramble a couple of plays ago. Marc Malone has come into the game, the Steelers' only other quarterback. Keep in mind that Cliff Stout suffered a broken arm 4 weeks ago, and here's Marc Malone. We know he's a fine athlete. He started against Seattle a few weeks ago. Set a Steelers record, but he started as a wide receiver and scored a 90-yard touchdown pass. He's 6'4", 223 pounds, out of Arizona State, where he was a running and passing quarterback. Third down, 17. And Malone will be sacked by Dave Browning.
An auspicious start.
And the Steelers, who started at the 27-yard line of Oakland, they are now at the 44-yard line.
I suggest that was a tremendous series for Oakland. The Pittsburgh score would have had them deep in the well, and nothing worse could have happened to Pittsburgh than what happened to that fellow, Terry Bradshaw.
That's fourth down, and Colquitt is on. Arthur Whittington has dropped for the Raiders as we see Bradshaw once again. And again, we will get word as quickly as possible. There's Whittington. Here's Colquitt. Hangs it high. Fair catch called for at the 17-yard line by Whittington. And Oakland will have possession. Here in the second quarter, they trail 7-0. Doing so. First down and 10. The Oakland Raiders. The ball at their own 17-yard line. Bob Chandler in motion. This is Kenny King. King finds an opening down the sideline. Johnny Shell makes the save out at the 35-yard line. It was Frank Hawkins, the rookie from the University of Nevada at Reno, leading the way for Kenny King. Let's watch it again.
Well, you got Winston in the middle, so there's not Lambert coming out there, but they also tied up Jack Ham that time. See, Ham tried to arm tackle, didn't quite get a good shot at him, and Donnie Shell had to come and knock him out of bounds. Good blocking that time by the Oakland offensive line.
You get King in the open, he can kill you.
Near the 35-yard line, first and 10 Oakland. King again. This time they close it down. Joe Green there first for the Steelers. Gary Dunn and Bob Coors helping out.
This game in some ways, Frank, is a reflective of that tremendous game between these two teams of a year ago. Pittsburgh got off early. Bradshaw injured his hand. And then Oakland came on, Plunkett having the Cinderella year. They won it 45-34. And from then on, they stormed to the Super Bowl.
Second down and 10. The single setback, Hawkins, the rookie. Here comes the pressure on Wilson. And hangs it high. Kenny King was deep, battling with linebacker Lawrence Hayes. It'll be third down and long.
Let me tell you something. If Kenny had gotten around Taves, they would have had it all the way.
Looked like he pulled up a little bit for some reason or another. Mark Wilson threw it deep. Kenny King didn't make that adjustment.
Art Whittington checks in now for Oakland as Kenny King on the long pass pattern gets a breather on the sidelines. Whittington, number 22. Fourth-year man out of SMU.
Southern Methodist University, yes. Got him a good education, you can be sure of that.
Third down, a little more than 9 yards for the first.
Nobody's there.
Whittington, again, a drop pass. Arthur. And that'll bring up fourth down. We'll see Ray Guy again as Arthur Whittington, in all probability, would not have been able to pick up the first down, but he would have been close. Larry Anderson settles deep for the Steelers back at his 25-yard line. It's the fourth drop pass of Marc Wilson. Yep, is Anderson. Ray Guy. High booming kick. Fair catch called for at the 25-yard line by Anderson.
Fair catch at the 25.
40-yard effort by Ray Guy, who very obviously is struggling with a back problem. Completion prior to tonight's activities. Malone hands off to Sidney Thornton on the 1st and 10. Raiders storming all over Sidney Thornton, but the progress was marked after a pickup of a couple. Otis McKinney came up with the football, and some of his bigger friends really hammered Otis McKinney out of the pileup. And now in comes Mike Davis. He was another one of the heroes from a year ago that has missed much of this season with an ankle injury. Remember the tight safety? Remember the Cleveland game? Right. Final seconds ticking off. Mike Davis with the interception.
He is a great football player. Said tonight, it's so good to be back.
He's big. He's great on forcing the run. He's 6'3", 210. Thornton got a couple. It's 2nd down and 8. Crowd doesn't like it, and now a flag is dropped by one of the officials. The time has expired, the 30-second clock, and already you're seeing the problems with young Marc Malone. There'll be a delay of game. They'll walk off 5.
The field clock, the 30-second clock started, and well, we only used 20 seconds. We'll replay it with 30 seconds left in the clock, no penalty.
I see. They stopped with the field clock started with 20 seconds rather than the allotted 30. Crowd doesn't like that either. So in the replay, 2nd down and 8. And the ball inside the 28-yard line. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, they lead 7-0 with a little more than 11 minutes remaining in the first half. Malone puts it out to Hawthorne. Makes the reception, but he'll lose 3 yards in the process.
They're really banging in there. 72, 73. Actually, there were 3 of them in there, including 53. The Raiders putting all kinds of pressure on the young quarterback.
Well, Tuzak, the big defensive end, 6'8", 285-pounder, is working against Hilton, who is in the lineup because of the injury to Larry Brown.
Tuzak, Robinson, and Marc.
3rd and long once again for Marc Malone, basically a rookie at this quarterback spot. Hawthorne spins right into the arms of Dave Browning. It'll be 4th down, and the crowd senses the Steelers are something less than Super Bowl quality without Terry Bradshaw. Howard Long also in on that tackle, the rookie from Villanova, and a 2nd-round draft pick. It's been quite a pleasant surprise for the Raiders.
The last man from Villanova.
You take Terry Bradshaw away from the offense and Jack Lambert from the defense, Pittsburgh is not the same team.
The basic heart and soul. Colquitt hits it. Waiting for it. Arthur Whittington misjudged it. And there's a scramble for the ball, and Whittington is taken all the way back to the 19-yard line as he overran the ball. Anthony Washington was down there.
6-yard punt by Colquitt to the 19.
So Oakland would have had good field position up around the 35 or 37. Now they'll be inside their own 20 when we come back to Oakland. Of Marc Wilson, he's had 4 drop passes. 1st down and 10. The ball just inside Oakland's 20-yard line, following that error by return man Arthur Whittington. Wilson, the tight end, Derek Ramsey. And taken there by Dwayne Woodruff, but Ramsey, a really fine athlete, works his way out of trouble and gets a 1st and 10 out of the 31-yard line. Let's pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves with Derek Ramsey's 43rd reception of the year. He's having a fine year. Pittsburgh on top, 7-0. Frank Hawkins, a rookie from the University of Nevada in Reno.
Hawkins has been a kind of a pleasant surprise for him. They had him a year ago, cut him, brought him back. Not too tall, about 225 pounds, but he's had a couple of good games going for him.
They're not the same team, though, without Marc Van Eegen, who's on injured reserve. In the meantime, Frank called Ramsey a fine athlete. He is all of that and more. He was a quarterback at Kentucky. As he grows into the tight end position, he'll become a great one.
On 2nd down and 6, here's Kenny King. And down goes Kenny King in the arms of Robin Cole. Struggling for about a yard and a half. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Robin Cole's one of those top draft choices the Steelers brought in. Outstanding linebacker, got all the things they really like. The good athlete, the quickness. That time, you know, they've been playing some different defenses this year, and Robin Cole's been one of the guys that's figured in it. Noel was criticized a little bit. He says you're trying to stick to the old kinds of defenses and you're not getting it done, and he has made some adjustments with the 3-man fronts, a lot of linebackers coming in, 6 backs. Robin Cole plays a very strong role in that new defensive look from Pittsburgh.
3rd down, 3. Wilson back. Wilson, complete. Ball going out to Bob Chandler. Times it out perfectly. Gets the 1st down up at the 47-yard line.
You know, I've heard a lot of reasons or possibilities as why there is parity in the league. We discussed it last Thursday in Houston. I heard one tonight that made a little bit of sense. Cosell, who came in, has been with Oakland for a long time, he says that the change in the offensive blocking rule may have had anything to do with it because the offensive linemen are able to push, and they never do hit anybody. They're giving them better protection. Therefore, they're moving it down, and they're causing these things to be more equal.
Hawkins and a rookie bangs close to another 1st down around the 42-yard line, and I do believe that Pittsburgh is really feeling the impact of having Jack Lambert out at middle linebacker.
I think it's the key.
They're coming right at it in the middle. Is right. They haven't run in the middle all night until Lambert went away.
It especially showed on that earlier dash of Kenny King's. Don called attention to it. Winston was all tied up.
Well, what's wrong with Lambert? Is it have we got a report? Just a
mild
concussion?
If there is such a thing,
yeah.
A mild concussion.
How can you have a mild one? Is right.
That's what they said Gifford had when Bednarik hit him at the beginning.
It was mild in the beginning. Mellow thereafter.
It's a funny situation. Several times while I was playing, you really don't quite, you know you're here, but you're not quite sure why. Okay, the Jack Lambert's going through that right now. 42-yard line, 1st and 10, Oakland. They trail 7-0. Wilson again with good protection. Gets over the middle, and he gets the big tight end, Derek Ramsey, and Ramsey battles his way to another 1st down near the 30-yard line.
I tell you, I like that kid. You keep watching him through the years to come. He's going to be a super tight end.
Dirk Winston's the one that's frustrated again. You see number 53 dropping back into kind of that middle zone area. Again, though, he's really getting good time. Good move that time by Wilson to move outside. Winston made the hit, missed him a little bit, was able to grab a foot, hold on, but he's not pleased with his pass coverage.
The 1st down inside the 31-yard line of the Steelers, and here comes Kenny King. Breaks back and breaks a tackle in doing so. Gets himself 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
I think he might have done a little better than that, Frank. Might have picked up 4.
Good running effort on his part because there really wasn't there a real good hole that time. Made a cut just at the right time.
Marc Wilson. Once quiet. Hand off is to Jensen. Jensen stacked up after a pickup of about a yard. It'll be 3rd down and about 4.5 yards for the 1st.
Do either of you guys feel that change in the pass rule blocking might have something to do with this parity thing where they are able to protect?
It might be a factor, but good Lord, sometimes I look at the standings and it looks like every team is 7-7.
Well, a lot of them are, but as a matter of fact,
something's wrong.
But a lot of them are really improving their passing game too. That's how they're able to upset different people. We had a lot of upsets yesterday.
3rd down, 4.5 yards. Wilson, front of the end zone. Derek Ramsey, touchdown.
Wonderful
Beautifully thrown ball. Ramsey at 6'4", working against the 5'11", Donnie Shell.
That's my kid.
But he also beat him on the move, too. The height didn't really come into play that time. Good throw. Bob Coors is coming in there, got pretty close, backed off. The ball was really well thrown. You'll see that he had Donnie Shell turned around. Derek Ramsey made a good move. Touchdown, Oakland.
The whole game changed when Lambert and Bradshaw were hurt. Pittsburgh on a roll. The look of Super Bowl in them. But not now.
Chris Barr comes out. His attempt to tie it up. Bob Chandler is the holder. Dalby is the center. And we've got a tied football game with 5:11 remaining in the first half. And you saw the sign, don't count us out. The reason being, Oakland at 6 and 7 is not mathematically eliminated yet. We'll be back with more action, but right now this message from the National Football League, brought to you as a public service by Jim Plunkett of the Raiders and, of course, by the National Football League. 5:11 remaining in the half. We got a tied football game. Chris Barr to kick off deep. Rick Moser, number 39. Larry Anderson, number 30. Barr. Rick Moser. And Moser out to the 23-yard line. And once again, we will see Marc Malone, the second-year quarterback. And there's Derek Ramsey. We do not have any word yet as to the condition of Terry Bradshaw, who went to the locker room to have his right hand x-rayed. Zach Lambert, we have been told, has a mild concussion. He is also on the sideline. So the defensive leader, Lambert, and the offensive leader, Bradshaw, both out of the game for the Steelers.
His completion percentage is good.
On 1st and 10. Franco Harris finds an opening and works his way out close to the 30-yard line. That's good, close to 7.
With Malone in there, they're going to have to use the run more than they anticipated. The burden on the Pittsburgh offensive line will grow.
I think it's a good move. They can run the ball. Malone came in as his first series, tried to pick it up. They just had a turnover, tried to convert it into points by throwing, but he's got some runners there. They've been blocking a lot better in the last few games.
Second down, long 3.
There you go.
Harris. He'll have the first down, I do believe. They're very close to it. And every time Franco Harris carries the football, he expands on his NFL record of attempts.
He has been utterly superb through his career on Monday night. Look at that graphic. No question about the accuracy of that post.
If I'm not, I'm sure close. What can I tell you?
Lord, it's hard to be humble.
I know.
When you're perfect in every way.
Well, those things happen. What can I say?
1st and 10. The Steelers. Ball at their own 33-yard line. Malone. Firing, and he hit Lynn Swan. It gets the first down at the 47-yard line. Lynn Swan, who was questionable during the week, he had suffered a bruised lung against the Los Angeles Rams.
I tell you, this was a remarkable throw by the young quarterback. Watch the pressure he's under. From 73, Doug Browning. I mean, Dave Browning. I said Doug.
Started with a D, both of them did.
No, but Doug Browning is an old dear friend of mine, an ABC staff announcer when I joined the company 28 years ago.
This same Doug Browning?
No, this is his son.
Oh, I see.
1st and 10. Sidney Thornton. Left side. Thornton has bowled his way down around the 41-yard line for a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
You really have a strange mind, Howard. You know that? I mean, the things that you pull out.
Gain of 6 to the 41.
Sidney Thornton right there, number 38, made a good block on that pass completion to Swan a while ago. Didn't have a chance to point that out. Little play action fake into the middle. He did pick up one of the Oakland Raider defenders. Gave Malone a chance to throw.
Swan and Stallworth both placed to the right by the Steelers. 2nd down 4. That's Thornton in motion. Malone has the time. fired. And Benny Cunningham just found that one. I don't think he even saw it coming. Well, right through a Raiders' hands once again. It'll be first down around the 16-yard line.
For all the skiers out there, you know sometimes when you lose it, it's just totally out of control. That's Benny Cunningham right now. He just lost it on that slide. So you just hold on to what you got. And he held on to the top part and picked it up. I like that, Benny. Nice going, boy.
Meanwhile, Matt Millen, who slipped,
gets moving them.
First and 10 Steelers.
I'd give it to Franco right now, wouldn't you?
16-yard line.
Or somebody else.
Greg Hawthorne tripped up.
It'd been better to give it to Franco.
Good defensive play, Mike Davis. We talked about him earlier. There will be a loss of 4 yards.
He really,
through the 2-minute warning.
Really contains the run, doesn't he?
Oh, he's such a fine, strong safety. You saw it right there. There it is. The 2-minute warning indicated by referee Jim Tunney. 2 minutes of the first half. We're tied at 7. Second down and 14. The Steelers under the direction of young Marc Malone. Malone. Oh, into the corner.
Did he catch it?
Oh, what a great catch of a brilliantly thrown ball. And Marc Malone was pounded, and he is the only quarterback available to the Steelers at the moment. But what a catch by Jim Smith.
Big Matt Millen was the guy that came in there, Penn State guy. This Smith makes one. Look at Millen right there. Marc Malone throws that ball in the air. He jumped, and look at this catch. Oh, boy, that's fun.
I'll tell you, there are two great pros doing what they do the finest. I don't know how he got this off. He just threw it with his arm.
I don't
either. He did. Look, he's up in the air. Millen is right. His helmet's right in his stomach. That ball is well thrown. Malone is a terrific athlete. As Frank mentioned earlier, he's played. And can you believe the quarterback has the record for the reception of the longest touchdown in Steeler history, and it's 90 yards.
David Trout executes, gets it through the uprights, and Marc Malone has started the Oakland defensive coaches going back to their drawing board. Into the end zone. David Trout now to kick off with 1:56 remaining in the first half. Willis is deep along with Whittington. Chester Willis, the rookie from Auburn. Willis gets out to the 27-yard line. And out comes the Oakland offensive unit. Oakland, we mentioned, not mathematically out of the playoff hunt. The Pittsburgh Steelers very much alive. The Steelers with a win tonight, with a win next week against Cincinnati, and then a win against Houston in their final game, can really control their own destiny. They would not only win the division with that combination, but they might also win the home field advantage.
Well, I saw Terry Bradshaw's opening statement. I believed him. He was very convincing, and I'm sorry to see him hurt.
First down and 10. Marc Wilson. That ball to Whittington, and Jack Ham gets to Whittington.
Winston dropped real deep. Ham stayed in the middle. Whittington came across the middle. Malone didn't see Ham, and neither did Whittington.
Gain of about 3.5. Call it second down and 6. Wilson throws it behind Whittington this time.
Wilson's pass intended for Whittington.
Whittington, had that been complete, could have got the first down. Also, had been able to get out of bounds.
And could have picked up very good yardage in terms of field position to get to at least a score before the end of the half.
Third down and 6. Oakland with their allotment of timeouts, 3 remaining. Morris Bradshaw, wide receiver now in the 3 wide receiver offense for Oakland. He wears number 81, and Wilson is back once again. This time, Whittington collects the ball out to the 39-yard line. It'll be first down, Oakland. And now, Marc Wilson wants timeout.
All right, I mentioned the coaching staff so confident all week long. Fourth quarter action, 2016 Seattle. Deflected pass. Jerome Barkham having a great year, getting the ball. That set up a Jets score, 23-20 Jets. But just 2 plays later, a young man from Wisconsin named Bree and Steve Largent beating Darrell Ray. Touchdown, and Seattle beat the Jets 27-23, and the Jets no longer control their destiny. They've still got a shot, but they're now in third place in their division.
A plan to do. Let's take a look at it from the end zone, from the defensive standpoint, and let's see what Marc Wilson's going to come out with.
First down and 10. Wilson is back.
That's Bob Coors.
And he's being pursued by Coors. Gets away from Coors. There's a hook slide underneath Dirk Winston, number 53, and Lauren Taves. And there'll be hurry-up offense now for Oakland. They have 2 timeouts remaining. It'll be second down and 1. We'll watch it from the end zone once again.
Derek Jensen made a block that time to keep a defensive guy off of Marc Wilson. Back again, we're going to see it right in the pocket.
Again, with a lot of time, finds Whittington. He has the first down into the 42-yard line. And timeout called once again by Oakland. They'll have 1 timeout remaining with 44 seconds.
First down.
Marc Wilson, 7 of his last 8 for completions. 44 seconds remaining. He has 1 timeout with which to work.
Right there he is.
Over the middle, and it's complete once again. Cliff Branch, the receiver. He has the first down inside the 30-yard line.
But they are not yet within Barr's range. He is not a distance kicker, though he has kicked from such a distance.
But there's still nobody rushing the pass.
Whittington bobbles the ball, and a Steeler is there covering it.
That is unreal. That's twice that's happened after a pass.
Jack Ham, his second fumble recovery of the night.
He got the other one, too. Well,
and not Marc Wilson's fault once again. That ball bobbled.
Looking from the other side, Marc Wilson is getting so much time to throw. They're only rushing 3 defensive guys. I don't really understand that. It was stripped by Mel Blunt, and Jack Ham comes in there, and, man, he picks up his second fumble recovery of the night.
That's what Shula was criticized for in the final minute and a half against the Jets.
I think it's something that's worthy of consideration, if not criticism, but you must put some pressure on those people, particularly young quarterbacks.
On first and 10, and Marc Malone will cover it up and let the final seconds expire here in the first half. Pittsburgh out in front, 14-7, but they've lost Jack Lambert. They may have lost Terry Bradshaw, not only for tonight, but for the season. He is in the locker room having his right hand x-rayed. Within 1 game of Cincinnati. They play Cincinnati next Sunday in Pittsburgh, and then they close against Houston while Cincinnati closes against Atlanta. Chris Barr kicks off. Larry Anderson at the 2-yard line for the Steelers. And Anderson struggles out over the 20-yard line, close to the 21-yard line, and we will see Marc Malone coming in at quarterback for the Steelers once again. Those are the first half stats.
Halftime stats favor Oakland quite clearly, but the 4 turnovers the difference. Just spoke to Joe Gordon of the Steelers. He said, we're the luckiest team in the world tonight. I said, not quite. Marc Malone and Jim Smith executed one of the best plays of the year. And this kid, Marc Malone, if he can carry them in the wake of Bradshaw's injury, it'll be a great, great story.
First down and 10. The other story, there is no other backup quarterback for the Steelers. They lost Cliff Stout 4 weeks ago. Franco Harris tries to peck to the right. Gets a yard and a half. It'll be second down and 9.
That is a good story, Frank, because they have one quarterback. If Bradshaw is out for 4 weeks, certainly they'll have to activate someone. Who that someone will be, I'm not sure. But the Steelers are in a good position. As we mentioned earlier, they do control their own destiny. They do play Cincinnati next week. Tough break for those Steelers to have Bradshaw go down and Lambert to be out.
23-yard line, second down and 9. Franco Harris. Harris runs into big number 57, Randy McClanahan. And there is a loss all the way back to the 18-yard line.
And what you must remember about Oakland as you look at the figures on McClanahan is that on Monday Night Football, they are the reigning kings, 17-1-1. Frank was with me when they lost incredibly to Buffalo in 74, opening game 21-20. Their only loss.
Third down, 13. Flags fly, as you can see. Movement at the line. Ball start, movement by Marc Malone, who again had one attempt prior to tonight's action. In 2 years, he had been used on the kickoff team as we look at our officials and their occupations when they're not officiating.
Ball start. Quarterback number 16 come out without the ball. Still third down.
And as Don pointed out, and wide receiver earlier this year against Seattle, he set a Steeler record with a 90-yard touchdown reception. On the night, the Steelers are 0 of 5 attempts on third down situations. Malone sacked back at the 3-yard line, and it will be 4th down. Dave Browning was in there first. He had a lot of help from his friends.
I'll tell you, if you were looking closely, you saw Ted Hendricks moving across to the right side, charging in. There's Bradshaw, and you see already what's been done to the hand, and you can see the deep depression written in his face, because Terry believes this team can win the Super Bowl again, and he wanted to be the architect.
Colquitt to punt from the end zone. The Steelers will not be able to provide the cover.
Oh, gosh, that's unbelievable, out of the end zone.
Literally over Whittington's head.
Frank, I think that's the best punt we've seen this year by anybody.
74 yards. And a clipping tacked onto that.
What a break for Pittsburgh. Colquitt is having his best year by far of punting this year. He's averaging close to 43 yards per kick.
And a beautiful ceremony at halftime. George Blanda getting his Hall of Fame ring, accepting before a crowd. And George Blanda, called by Al Davis, and I think accurately, the greatest clutch player ever to play this game. With him tonight were Ron Mix, the intellectual assassin in the Hall of Fame, and of course 00 Jim Otto, who started 210 consecutive games in the Hall of Fame. A beautiful ceremony. We return to action. Giff.
Colquitt, his longest professional punt, as the Raiders start from the 17-yard line. This is Derek Jensen. Jensen squeezes for one. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Oh, did he turn field position around, Frank?
What it looked like is that the Oakland was, they made the 4 turnovers that we've mentioned or have seen on the stats. Looked like Oakland was going to have great field position, and here they are backed up in their own end of the field now.
Unbelievable.
That's what Ray Guy really has done for Oakland through the years. That's why he was a high draft choice and is such an integral part of their success here.
2nd down. This is Kenny King.
Look out.
Open field.
Look out.
And he has the speed. J.T. Thomas is pursuing.
Look at Mel Blunt. Mel Blunt.
And Kenny King takes it down close to the 20-yard line. Beautiful cutback. Mel Blunt makes the stop. And King,
I don't know whether it's just the wind knocked out of him, fatigue, or what. Here's the end zone replay, Dandy.
I don't think that Kenny King will see Mel Blunt make this tackle. He slips. Jack Ham didn't make the tackle. Came in through there. Moved out to the other side. J.T. Thomas was turned around. Here comes Blunt from the backside. And Blunt showed great speed there. He's not really known so much for that. Been around for a long time. They think maybe he's lost a half step. But that time Mel made a terrific play to come back, cover a lot of ground, and cut Kenny King off.
61-yard pickup. You recall a year ago it was Kenny King who got the Raiders' string of victories started against San Diego right here in this stadium when he went 89 yards against the Chargers. From then on, they were almost unbeatable, and now Kenny King has just reeled off 61 yards, and what a play that was. It would be just like it would be diagrammed by a coach. They set up the seal. Nobody could get to him, and he cut back to pack up the longest rushing from scrimmage the Raiders have had this season. 1st down and 10. Whittington.
Whittington, the ball game.
Whittington gets down to about the 16-yard line. He'll get 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Jack Ham defensively on the stop.
This rivalry between these two teams, which Tom Flores spoke of at the very opening of our telecast, is one of the great rivalries, despite much bitterness and even lawsuits in the National Football League. It's football at its very best. Kenny King had the wind knocked out of him. That's all.
He'll be back. Mark Whittington is in there now at the moment. Marc Wilson dumps it off to Whittington. And Whittington eludes Robin Cole. He's in the end zone. Great move against Robin Cole. Art Whittington, 5'11", 180-pounder, breaks the tackle, and Oakland was within one of tying it up.
Let's just watch it.
There's Cole. And Jack Hand finally, Whittington is in the end zone, and Chris Barr will come out in the attempt to tie it up. But it was the electrifying run of Kenny King at 60 yards that set it up. We've got a tied football game here in the third quarter. As Art Whittington, breaking tackle, gets into the end zone. For Oakland. And deep in the end zone is Anderson. He will stay there.
There's Art Whittington. He's had his personal problems, which shouldn't be delved into here. But he had a run just now, and he can kill you. There's Kenny King, who had the wind knocked out of him. This is a spectacular football game. It's the best that the NFL has to offer. When these two teams come together, there is nothing like it.
First down and 10. Mark Malone on a quick count.
Oh,
I do not believe they were set as Sidney Thornton got the call.
When you look at the record of Oakland, 17-1-1.
It's incredible.
On Monday Night Football.
Ball start. Offense.
Only timing is so critical, and of course with the new quarterback things change dramatically for the linemen. They're not used to, particularly on a quick count. They get used to a Bradshaw. They get used to hearing his cadence.
Kenny King doesn't look like he's reviving himself too quickly or being revived too quickly there.
He'll be back. On that Kenny King 61-yard run, did that look like a Lombardi sweep?
No, no.
Well, it did to me, the way he used to draw it up. He would say, get the seal, and that closed off everyone.
Yeah, but Lombardi didn't do that. You guys.
First down, 15. Malone, beautiful shot, and it's complete. Stallworth has the first down. Boy, he has some arm down.
This kid's amazing.
Bradshaw at 6'3", 215 was the smallest quarterback that Pittsburgh has. Malone 6'4", about 225, and he does have a rifle there, that right side. He drilled it between the 8 and the 2.
To remind you again, Malone is the only quarterback. Cliff Stout broke his arm 4 weeks ago punching a bag.
Or did he fall off of one of those bucking bulls? It's one of those things. It was. It's one of those electrical bulls or punching a bag or something.
First down and 10. Oh! Line does not hold on. The flag is down.
There was a mix-up in the backfield, but they got away with it.
But Matuzak and Browning and Martin were in on the kid again, and he never wavered, never flinched.
Call was made, it did appear to be against Lester Hayes. Malone now.
Lenny's trying to get outside of Lester. Moved in on the inside. Lester looks like he does have it right hand around him. That's an interference call. Good call.
Certainly was. Man who couldn't be here for the halftime ceremony, wanted to be, was Lance Bambi Allworth. Swan is the closest thing to Bambi in football today.
48-yard line. First down Steelers. Greg Hawthorne. That's back. He runs into Dave Browning. Gets a yard. It'll be second down and 9.
The Raiders and the Steelers played in a game where the Raiders came back after a 10 or 14-point deficit. I think the total is all-time scoring record on Monday Night Football. 79 points were scored.
45-34 last year. What a game. Once the Raiders trailed the Steelers 28-7 going into the fourth quarter, and the Raiders won it 31-28.
That's the same game I was talking about.
Second down and 9. Malone. Little low. Fires a shot to Stallworth, and it's low.
The thing I appreciate about Oakland is that they are not mathematically eliminated, but they're very close. They've got to have some strange things happen, a couple of ties.
Earthquakes.
Yeah, a couple of earthquakes and a couple of tie ball games. But the fact is, you're seeing, I think, the kind of character that the team has. This is the Super Bowl team.
Exactly.
And they were the first Super Bowl team to come out of the wild card position a year ago, and a lot of people said, hey, they didn't deserve to win. The fact is, Oakland is a spirited team. They play good football.
As we said earlier, these two teams, if you look at them, have won 6 of the last 7 Super Bowls.
3rd and 9. Franco Harris. Single setback. Jim Smith is in.
Threw that one off his back foot.
Malone under pressure, fires incomplete, and the Steelers will have to punt.
He felt the pressure that time. Frank did not step up. Threw it back off his right foot, bounced it about 10 yards short. The receiver was not open, and we have an Oakland player down, it looks like.
Defensive back for the Raiders is down.
Bradshaw there on the sideline. You really hate to see that. Could be Lester Hayes, I'm not sure.
Lester Hayes.
Yes, it is.
The injured Raider. What a year Lester Hayes had last year. They took away his stickum.
Well, the Steelers, frankly, the Raiders, frankly, admit that Lester misses the stickum, Frank.
You know, Lester's also the guy that's extremely superstitious. He has all these little rituals that he goes through before every ball game. And taking that stickum away might bother him, but a lot of things. He had 18 interceptions a year ago. We missed this early in the telecast. He had 2 this year.
Well, the Raiders as a team only have 10.
Yeah, but they're not throwing at him as much. They haven't scored as many points. Let's see what happened. He just falls right there on the left. It looks like he maybe fell on his right shoulder. Maybe just knocked the breath out of himself.
I think he might have knocked the wind out of him. He's walking off the field, appears to be all right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch is 4th down. Craig Colquitt has come on.
And you just saw a shot of the young quarterback Malone with Chuck Noll. And when Chuck Noll is not happy, he has one of the most expressive faces in football.
It looks like the one he has when he's happy.
Whittington is at his 12-yard line. Colquitt with another booming kick. Whittington lets it bounce, and it'll settle at the 7-yard line.
Good punt.
Whittington, even had he made the fair catch, it would have been up close to the 10-yard line, and we got a brawl going.
That's the feeling between these two teams.
Dirt Weston, I guarantee, is going to be in there somewhere, number 53.
I guarantee you none of them can fight.
That's Dirt Weston, 53. They're beginning to get it put together there right now.
Otis McKinney.
Otis McKinney.
Ron Johnson started it all off. But there are no flags. And the ball was killed at the 7-yard line. That's our story. We're in the 3rd quarter with 8:56 remaining. 4-yard punt. This one, he kicked high, and it was able to be killed at the 6-yard line. Art Whittington. And Whittington goes down in the arms of L.C. Greenwood in pursuit after a pickup of about 3. We're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves. 14, Terry Bradshaw has been lost for 4 weeks. Broken bone, right hand. Jack Lambert out of the game tonight. Mild concussion. 2nd down and 7. Derek Jensen. Stacked up as Jensen out over the 10. To the 12-yard line, a gain of a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Had some help that time slowing him down, but Dirt Weston did make his move to the middle linebacker position to come over and put the final touches on that tackle.
Big down for Oakland. They've got to get out of the hole, otherwise Pittsburgh will have superb field position.
Lindsey Macy has replaced Art Shell at left tackle for the Oakland Raiders. Lindsey Mason, third-year man out of Kansas. Art Shell, of course, the veteran 14-year man, former All-Pro. You understand he has injured his ankle. Third down 3. Whittington made it. First down, taken in the arms of Jack Ham, but not until he picks up the Oakland first down. Rapidly paced game, hard-hitting game.
And they did what they had to do.
See if he can pick it up. Joe Green, number 75, is right over the center. Makes his little jump. Can't get out quite quick enough. L.C. Greenwood is there, too. Jack Ham is the guy that finally makes the tackle. Gets a little help late there from Dunn.
18-yard line. First and 10, Oakland. Marc Wilson to Jensen. Gary Jensen with an open field. And he's run down at midfield by J.T. Thomas.
May have been a good example. We've got Green and Greenwood back in the lineup right now. They went right between both of them. No Jack Lambert to fill the hole. Big hole.
53 is Winston. He's the replacement.
Bring Greenwood in on the inside. Good block by right tackle Henry Lawrence. Big hole.
One of the great sub-dramas here tonight. Joe Green, Gene Upshaw, certain Hall of Famers, each in the twilight of his career. Here's Frank.
33-yard pickup on first and 10. Wilson is back. Wide open is Chandler, and he does not hold on a pass that's thrown low, but could have been caught.
Nobody was there to defend, too, Frank. That ball should have been caught.
Should have been caught.
Donnie Shell was out of position. Chandler, they ran a good route. It was a play-action pass. You'll see Chandler over here all by himself.
Oh, sure.
Well, he could have actually caught that ball. It was there, taking a step or two back toward it.
Right on the numbers, really.
For Marc Wilson, the 5th pass that has been dropped by receivers tonight.
Definitely catchable. It didn't look that catchable when I saw it the first time, but he should have had that ball.
6:08 remaining in the third quarter. Second down and 10. The ball near the 49-yard line of the Steelers. We're tied at 14. Hawkins. Jack Ham is there. Hawkins struggles for perhaps 2. It'll be second down and 8. Mention Hawkins. He was a 10th-round draft pick. Also the 3rd all-time leading rusher of the University of Nevada, Reno. Boy, he had some incredible numbers there. When he left school, he was the 3rd all-time leading NCAA rusher. Had over 5,000 yards.
His height was the big concern, Frank. He's 5'9", 225 pounds. They didn't think they cut him once. Came out here, they picked him up, had some injuries.
I'll tell you, his heart isn't small. Third down and 8. Wilson, Whittington, first down.
They had a blitz that time, but it was a late blitz. Too slow in developing. Got no pressure on Wilson. Had man-to-man coverage with Ham out there. He's a very good linebacker in coverage.
Busy tonight, and he gets the first down at the 35-yard line.
See, Laurente's number 51 on a slow blitz. Doesn't get back there in time. You got Ham out here one-on-one on Whittington, and Whittington can beat him.
As good as Jack Ham is, when you get him one-on-one with a quick back like Art Whittington, he's going to be late.
Slow blitz.
Remember, the Raiders started this drive at the 7-yard line. Confusion in the backfield, and the Steelers will have the football.
5th turnover.
I tell you, with the mistakes Oakland has made tonight, it's amazing they're tied.
Robin Cole comes up with the recovery. Oh. Marc Wilson trying to hand the ball off to Art Whittington. There was a collision, as you'll see.
Here, there maybe was not a good exchange between the quarterback and the center. No, he has it right there. No, he hit his pulling guard.
Kurt Marsh
hit the pulling guard. He didn't quite have good control of it. Had the ball up high. Kurt Marsh, the guard, pulled, knocked it out of the way.
So Robin Cole gets another turnover, and the Steelers will have a first and 10, their own 36-yard line. The National Football League is not dim the enthusiasm for football here in Oakland. Capacity crowd, 54,000 here tonight on hand. Raiders on the season 6-7. Pittsburgh 8-5. Sidney Thornton on first and 10 in motion.
A little bit offside.
Franco Harris. You saw the movement.
Just a little bit offside. Otis McKinney.
You realize, Don, the Raiders have had 4 fumbles, 1 intercept, 5 turnovers, and they're still tied.
And a partridge in a pear tree, they didn't call that offside, and he was in the backfield when the ball was snapped.
No flag.
What in the world to have nothing?
Gain of about 1.5 yards by Franco Harris.
You have
call
a
it
phone?
2nd down and 8.
You got a phone line to Jim Tunney?
No, I don't care to talk with him. That's okay.
38-yard line of the Steelers. Marc Malone, the young quarterback, in a rather heady situation. He's a good athlete. And a smart one.
He certainly is. What a terrific call that was. They had an overshift in their offensive setup. Middle linebacker moves out. Let's look at it again. Saw that shift.
Boy, what a great time to have it called.
Follow Steve Curson. That could almost even have been an audible. You don't know. You'd like to think that he's smart enough to do that. Finally chased out of bounds by Burgess Owen.
I'm not so sure if I had just one quarterback, I would want my sole remaining quarterback running the football like he has.
That's probably if they bill him, they say he can probably make it as a running back, a wide receiver, or even a defensive back if he doesn't make it as a quarterback.
Maybe the fastest back they had.
1st down and 10. Malone on a 16-yard pickup near the 42-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. That's Thornton in motion, and this is Franco Harris. He's in trouble.
Nobody out there to block.
Otis McKinney. Dave Browning had slid out to force Franco wide to the outside. Otis McKinney, who's done a tremendous job this year, filling in for an injured Mike Davis, had some trouble earlier in the year in our first week of the season. Was fined for a hit on the Minnesota quarterback. Came a little tentative after that. Then he's had trouble, too, with injury problems. Twice he's had a broken cheekbone this season. But he was there when the Raiders needed him. There was a loss of 7 yards. 2nd down, 17.
Sidney Thornton, I think, missed a big block that time. They replaced him with Greg Hawthorne.
Franco Harris.
No
That
place.
Harris in the arms of the rookie from Villanova, Howard Long.
You know the backup quarterback in an emergency is?
Let me guess. Either Lynn Swan or John Stallworth.
You got it. Lynn
We
Swan.
have a face mask, as you can see, indicated against Oakland.
Another key Oakland mistake.
Did have him from a reverse angle. We can see it quite clearly. Comes back in there. Franco had no place to go, and there's that big right paw coming in and hits right in the face.
Cosell, face mask, number 75.
What a mistake.
The rookie, 2nd-round draft pick from Villanova.
And the man who set up that play was Dave Browning. It was in on Malone so fast, it was unbelievable.
Howard Long saying, I didn't do it. He forgot about our reverse angle.
He said, I didn't mean to do it.
1st and 10, 46-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. Greg Hawthorne. He finds 3 difficult yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. There's a young man that the Steelers had such high hope for when they took him as a 1st-round draft pick in '79, but nagging injuries, hamstring pulls, ankle problems,
And bad hands.
Franco Harris, 7 yards on 9 attempts against the rugged Oakland Raider defense. On 2nd and 7. Malone to Cunningham. And Benny Cunningham, the big one, to the 27-yard line. Another Steeler 1st down, and Marc Malone is not looking like a young man who is really playing his first professional football at quarterback.
He's beginning to settle down, isn't he, Frank? Plants his feet well. That time Benny Cunningham goes down on a turn-in route. Plants his feet pretty well. Malone just really drills it right there.
Cunningham goes 260, and he gave Otis McKinney at 185. One shove that took McKinney back about 4 yards.
What was
Steelers
the call
on drive.
Cunningham?
Toss and a half.
1st down and 10, 27-yard line.
Humbo!
Malone, Swan crosses him up.
Malone fires
That one, Malone was anticipating the break to the sideline. Swan took it inside. Incomplete. It'll be second down and 10. 2 minutes now remaining in the third quarter. Hope you're enjoying. Good football game. These two bitter rivals. Steelers have lost the last 4 times these teams have met. But remember some of those games in the middle 70s? As we look at Bradshaw once again, in case you just joined us, broken finger, broken hand, bone in the right hand, out for 4 weeks.
Or longer.
Hawthorne stacked up, line of scrimmage, sheer effort will get him 1. It'll be third down and 9. Ted Hendricks, Donnie Robinson, the rookie nose guard from Louisiana Tech. They ran on the stop. Guess they're anticipating that their record will go to 18-1-1 with a win tonight. Out of those 17 victories, the Raiders have won 13 straight. Just remarkable on Monday night.
In 73, they played a tie against Denver at 23 all. Then 74, the opening game lost to the O.J. Simpson-led Bills, 21-20.
Third down 9. Swan's wide open, and a flag goes down. Swan has the yardage for the first down at the 12, but a flag is down. And the Steelers indicate that it will work once again against Oakland. I don't believe the penalty was against Swan. There was another receiver down deep. I believe it was John Stallworth.
Illegal contact, number 37, declined, first down.
Lester Hayes.
And this one he does not complain about.
Little crisscross pattern. Swan comes in from motion. He and Stallworth coming out from the same side. That was a pretty quick call on Hayes.
Sure was.
Because that was not what I would call one of your illegal touches.
No.
Inside the 12-yard line. First down and 10. Roll out by Malone. He'll get into the end zone easily. And Mike Davis was down there fighting in the end zone with his back to Malone. Davis covering Stallworth. And Malone literally went into the end zone all alone.
Not bad. Had a little collision with Hawthorne. I don't know what that was. It wasn't a real smooth move, whatever it was. Greg Hawthorne was the guy that he bumped into. But once again, Malone shows his basic athletic ability to roll in there and score.
Earlier, Malone with the 16-yard pickup. Got a first down. Now he takes it into the end zone. This one is blocked. David Trout.
That Trout really has put the suspense back into the field, the extra point, hasn't he?
A big extra point.
What are the odds of him kicking off for Pittsburgh in the opening game next year?
Actually, they got it down. They had the movement.
Hit it low. Didn't get it up quickly enough.
Got to pop that conversion up.
And as they say, that could be the difference.
2014.
He did kick it low.
1:04 remaining in the third quarter. And what a difference that extra point could make down the line. There's Marc Malone filling in for Bradshaw. He has been a force tonight. Arthur Whittington, number 22, is deep with Kenny Hill, the first-year man from Yale. Cobb really hammers this one. Whittington from the 1-yard line. And tripped up as he crosses out over the 20-yard line. They'll mark it at the 21. And the Oakland Raiders offensive unit back out on the field.
Fine play by Zach Valentine. Had he gotten past Valentine, he would have had some open space and big yardage and field possession. Instead, Oakland has to start the long way.
Oakland, frankly, a victim of their own mistakes tonight. Penalties, 4 fumbles, interception. First and 10. Marc Wilson puts Cliff Branch in motion. And here's Art Whittington. Whittington. Nice. Line of scrimmage, that's about it. J.T. Thomas up from his free safety position on the stop along with Dwayne Woodruff. And Thomas has been really a pleasant surprise filling in for retired Mike Wagner at that free safety position. I remember in '78 running into J.T. Thomas. They never thought he'd play this game again. He was out for the season with a blood disorder and used to travel around and scout the teams that the Steelers had coming up. He's made some comeback. They give Whittington a yard. 2nd down and 9. Malone.
That's it.
Flag is down. That usually indicates holding. Bob Coors was all over Marc Wilson. Another Marc Wilson. Tripping or a leg whip. Indicated again against Oakland.
They have made some mistakes tonight.
Oh, no team could surmount this number of mistakes.
Tripping, number 70, decline. 3rd down.
Henry Lawrence, number 70. Watch.
And now they got
There it was.
got run over. That's a trip on the way down.
That was a trip, yes. The wrong kind.
3rd down, 15. Wilson fires to Derek Ramsey. He'll be short of the 1st down at the 30-yard line, but not by much as we see the final seconds expiring here in the 3rd quarter.
They'll measure for the 1st down.
It will be close enough for a measurement. So we'll check it out. They bring the sticks in.
I don't believe he made it.
Derek Ramsey struggling in the arms of the defender. Should be inches short.
Mistake by Ramsey. You've got to get to 1st down territory.
So that will be our situation when we come back. It'll be 4th down for Oakland. You're watching another exclusive of ABC Sports. There it is. The end of the 3rd quarter with the score 2014. Pittsburgh over the Raiders. With respect with which he would show a healthy Ray Guy. We begin the 4th quarter. Ray Guy this time really pounds it. Anderson at his 20-yard line.
Good move by Anderson.
And works his way back out over the 30-yard line before he's taken by Jeff Barnes. And now a late flag is dropped. And once again, tempers begin to flare.
Otis McKinney was the first guy down on that punt coverage. Made one quick move. Larry Anderson did. Uh-oh.
Personal foul against the Steelers. Those are the 3rd quarter stats. Oakland, as you can see, dominating in yardage by nearly 100. But they trail on the scoreboard. Here's our call.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 61, 15 yards, 1st down.
Tyrone McGriff. Watch 61. He'll come from the left side of the screen. There it was. There's Tyrone.
Good old Bradshaw, well, he's down.
Steelers at their own 16-yard line. Not a very cozy 6-point lead following the missed conversion. Franco Harris having a difficult time tonight. Upended after a pickup of a yard. It was Matt Millen. 2nd-year man out of Penn State.
A couple of Penn State guys there going head-to-head. Matt Millen, a little bit of the younger end of that. He's just jumped in out here at Oakland and fit into that middle linebacker position in a very fine fashion.
Franco came in at tonight's game needing 106 yards to set an NFL record of 8 years of 1,000 or better. He has gained 8 yards on the night.
That is amazing.
2nd down and 9. Russell Davis, who was not expected to play because of a very sore knee.
I tell you, David Browning is playing some game tonight. He was in there again. Just spectacular.
It'll be 3rd down and 7. There was a gain of a yard by Russ Davis. So we'll see the three wide receivers. Swan 88, Smith 86, and John Stallworth 82. Smith hit to the left. Top of your screen, Swan and Stallworth. Malone, and down goes Malone. The rookie from Villanova, Howard Long, on the pass rush. He's big, 265, 265-pounder. And Malone is dropped all the way back at the 8-yard line, and the Raiders on 4th down should get excellent field position.
And once again, the job is Craig Colquitt. He's been remarkable tonight. As a matter of fact, ever since on a Thursday night game in the early season, Tommy Vigorito of Miami returned the punt 87 yards for a touchdown. They have been able to do nothing in returning punts against them.
Colquitt hangs it high. The fair catch is called for and executed at the 48-yard line. Excellent field position for the Oakland Raiders. They trail 20-14. Marc Wilson made his 8th start tonight. Took over for Jim Plunkett after Oakland had been embarrassed with 3 consecutive games in which they could not score a point against Detroit, Denver, and Kansas City. He won 4 of those 7 starts. He lost 3 on 1st and 10. If Branch, even though the ball was deflected, comes up with it, he'll have a 1st down at the 37-yard line.
That's a good omen for Oakland. After you get the ball tipped, if it still goes into the intended receiver and he's able to catch it, a little bit of pressure there. The Steelers still don't get real good pressure. That was Goodman that stuck his hand up. No, actually it wasn't. It was Coors. Stuck his hand up and deflected it, but it did come down into, that's his hand almost 1st down. We'll have a measurement.
And bring out the yard markers.
1st down.
1st down and 10. 38-yard line. 38-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wilson, all the time in the world, going for Chandler. Chandler out battles Woodruff. Touchdown, Oakland. Dwayne Woodruff had position. Chandler goes up with it. It looked as though Woodruff slipped as he tried to come back. 6 points, Oakland.
You believe this football game, the crowd understandably going crazy. Chandler, a magician.
Couldn't ask for better position than that.
Well, he had the inside position. Woodruff is trying to go up for it, then he slides down and leaves Chandler all alone. It started with an ample amount of time to throw the football. No pressure from the defensive line of Pittsburgh.
That was the key to that touchdown. Marc Wilson just stood there in the pocket. This bar.
He missed it. I cannot believe that.
I don't believe the way they missed extra points.
Chris Barr has missed the conversion. We're tied at 20.
It's unreal. It's pro football. You can find kids on the streets of the big cities who can kick better.
But they don't always do it when it's, you have to have it. And he just slid that one off to the right, didn't he?
And for a right-footed kicker to miss it to the right, that's almost impossible. We'll be back in a moment. 12:23 remaining in the 4th quarter here in Oakland. We are tied at 20. Anderson and Moser await the kick. They're trying to assure that the ball will go to Anderson. They want to hide Moser, if you will. And it doesn't matter because Barr has exploded it into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Bob Chandler, and he was so missed during the early going. Last year, he led the team in touchdowns, yardage on receptions. He just keeps rolling along now in his 11th year.
A ruptured spleen. Had to have the spleen removed after the first game of the season. Many thought he would never play again. Back. And as great as ever. Somehow always getting loose. And as you just saw, taking advantage of Woodruff for the touchdown catch. Remarkable story.
1st down and 10. The Steelers. Ball at their own 20-yard line, following the touchback, and Malone is in deep trouble and bobbles the ball.
Isn't he? That'll do it.
And somehow a Steeler got under the pile, comes up with the football.
You talk about
and maintain possession. It was Tunç Ilkin.
Tunç Ali Ilkin.
Turk.
Tunç Ali Ilkin got out there. Tunç is the guy that came in. They cut him once.
You believe this game, Frank?
It is wild. Here comes the charge.
They got him from all angles, didn't they?
Hendricks.
Still couldn't get it.
There's Thornton. He misses. They still scramble.
Tuzak loses it.
Lost it while he was on the ground.
Tunç Ali Ilkin got it.
Second down, 17. Ball at the 13-yard line. Malone is back again. Batted away.
Hendricks.
Dead Hendricks.
I tell you, when he gets going, there's no one like him in football. He proved it last year.
He had such a great year last year. This year, I think teams are more aware of what the Raiders try to do with Hendricks. And, of course, he's had nagging injuries, but he was everywhere at any time in any part of the game a year ago.
Look at the durability of
that
the
is amazing, that stat for a linebacker. 188 consecutive games.
What a player.
Third down, 17. 13-yard line. The crowd is on its feet. Russell Davis, 44, the single setback. Malone underthrows to Stallworth. It'll be fourth down, and Oakland should get the ball back once again in good position.
He had Stallworth open that time, underthrew. Stallworth made a good move. He and Swan were out on double tandem that time. Stallworth comes in motion, comes down the field, makes a cut to the outside. Marc couldn't get it there high enough for him to catch.
Kid has been remarkable, but in a situation like that, you know what Bradshaw means. The great veteran.
There's Ted Watts. Near his 47-yard line for Colquitt, his 9th punt of the night. This time it doesn't turn over. Watts takes it at his 48-yard line.
Got some room. Got some room.
Could go all the way.
All the way.
Colquitt is the last Steeler.
That's it.
Ted Watts, the rookie first-round draft pick from Texas Tech. His longest return until just a moment ago, 17 yards on the season. This one, 52 yards. Oakland touchdown. Colquitt had no chance.
That is the first time a punt. No, he's never had one blocked. He may have had one run back on him, Brown.
Figueredo, 87 yards.
You're right.
Thursday night game. The kid from Virginia. Now it's this kid.
As Lester Hayes said, hold back. I'll get over here and get this thing going, and they did it, didn't they?
Oh, what games these two teams play. Oh.
Chris Barr. Still, I think, shaken, perhaps by his misconversion of just a few moments ago. High snap. Chandler gets it down. This time we're through the uprights.
There he is. Ted Watts.
First-round draft pick. And he has just paid a major dividend. We'll be back in Oakland in a moment. Has taken the lead for the first time tonight. Chris Barr hammers one. Larry Anderson from the 1-yard line. And Anderson taken inside the 20 to the 17-yard line by a hustling, fired-up Raider defense.
When you look at the number of mistakes Oakland has made tonight, the fumbles, the turnovers, and still they're ahead, it is simply amazing.
If the Steelers don't make a first down to this series of plays,
yes,
party's over.
You'll think it.
Party is over.
10:51.
Marc is doing a good job.
I think the kid's been astounding. He really has.
They got to have a first down this series to quiet everything down.
Franco Harris.
They're going to get it fast.
And Harris piled up by a pursuing Oakland defense short of the 25-yard line.
But good first down yardage.
Gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. A reminder once again, Terry Bradshaw has a broken bone in his right hand. He'll be out for 4 weeks. The Steelers have also been going without services of their all-pro middle linebacker, Jack Lambert. He was injured early in the game. Diagnosis there, mild concussion. He's not been back. 2nd down, 4. Here comes the blitz on Malone. Steelers pick it up. And almost picked off by Lester Hayes. A pass attempt to Benny Cunningham, who was open, was overthrown.
Lester Hayes got it.
Well, could be that Marc is just starting to realize the situation he's in.
Be best if he doesn't think about it and just goes ahead and plays on his natural ability, but it's hard not to think about it.
You're right, Don, but Frank's comment was very cogent. And one wonders about that call, because this was a situation where, as you said, they had to get the 1st down. And now they got to get it on 3rd down, when a quick trap might have done it on 2nd.
3rd down, a little less than 4. Malone gets Hawthorne, and he'll have the 1st down out at the 30-yard line.
Pass complete to Greg Hawthorne.
Rod Martin was there defensively, along with Matt Millen, the 2 linebackers for the Raiders.
It's important in the 1st down situation. I mentioned it for just this.
Excuse me, Don, there is a flag down, line of scrimmage. And again, it's indicated it'll work against Oakland.
I'll tell you, they have not had breaks go their way, have they? And they're still on top. They're winning in spite of themselves.
That's true. The options being discussed with Marc Malone, the acting captain on the field for the Steelers.
You just get the feeling that the whole sense of this game has shifted over to Oakland.
Holding, number 37, 5 yards, penalty accepted, 1st down.
Well, Lester Hayes is having himself a night.
For all the grandmas in the world. He's a lovely grandma.
Rated. And Garrett didn't mind his trip down to the field before the game either.
That's Justin.
1st down and 10.
Wait a minute.
Oh, it's off. Otis McKinney. And McKinney brings it back to the 17-yard line. Pass attempt again to Benny Cunningham. 3 Raiders were there, and McKinney came up with it.
Turn out the lights. The party is over.
There's Cunningham, overthrown. There was a man right in front of Cunningham.
Good things must end.
It's not over yet, John. This Pittsburgh
night. The party is over. You mark my words.
I think you're right. No way, I don't think you're right. But kind of sad for Marc Malone.
Kind of sad for the Steelers. I really felt they had it together. They really put 3 games in a row. Lost Bradshaw.
1st and 10, 18-yard line. Frank Hawkins, the rookie from Nevada at Reno.
There's Bradshaw and Lambert. Too much to overcome.
Really was.
They're trying to make a transition period. And they did a pretty good job of it. They put it together.
Hawkins gets 3 yards, comes out of the lineup, and Terry Bradshaw tries to counsel his replacement, Marc Malone, on the sideline.
I'll tell you, the Pittsburgh organization, from the top down, the ownership, the scouting, the player personnel people, just such a great organization.
2nd down and 7. Chandler in motion. Whittington. He's been working tonight. He struggles close to the 11-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Lauren Taves defensively there for the Steelers.
As you look at Tom Flores, suddenly under fire this year, all the accolades a year ago. If they played all their games on Monday night, they might never lose again. Oakland, a great organization. I don't care your feelings about the lawsuit between the Raiders and the NFL, which, by the way, I suggest may be settled.
Picked off almost in the end zone. J.T. Thomas had his hands on it, and a scuffle breaks out at the line of scrimmage.
They are very sincere about this match.
Yes.
They're very sincere. They're not taking it lightly on either side.
Two great football organizations.
There are some big bodies involved in that scuffle.
And look at Jack Ham, Penn State grad, talking to number 55.
Matt Millen. Penn State grad.
How they're both out there at the same time is what I want to know.
No flags. We'll have a fourth down. We'll see Chris Barr.
Anything can happen. Frank Gifford was playing defensive back against George Blanda when Blanda was with the Chicago Bears. How do you like that?
I like it.
Yeah.
It's a 29-yard attempt. Chandler's the holder. High snap again by Dalby. But no problem for Chris Barr. And Oakland has extended and protected the lead. They move to a 10-point advantage with 8:10 remaining in the fourth quarter. Chris Barr wearing a covered cast.
And the take no prisoners.
He had a problem against Miami. Here's Larry Anderson from the end zone. He'll bring it out. And Anderson, good effort, out to the 25-yard line.
He got a broken wrist in the Miami game several weeks back when Oakland crushed Miami.
And Marc Malone forced into the role of Terry Bradshaw tonight. At times brilliant, and at other times less than brilliant.
I'll tell you who's watching this game with huge interest.
The New York Jets.
Exactly. Because if Pittsburgh loses, the Jets can recontrol their own destiny by winning their final two games.
So with all those other 8 and 5 teams, you think there's so many of them. Malone gets up to it, finds the receiver downfield.
That's remarkable. I don't believe that.
Cunningham has a first down at the 45-yard line.
Lynn Swan was a good 15 yards behind everyone, but it's that kind of play where there's no way Malone could have gotten it to him.
Where was the rush?
Well, he tripped right here.
Is Oakland playing it safe now?
He tripped either on his own feet.
It looked like he was going to stay there for a moment.
It sure did. Or Sidney Thornton, he gets up, flips it out to Cunningham. He was all alone. Lester Hayes was behind him.
And they marked it inside the 45-yard line of Oakland. First down and 10, Pittsburgh.
The Raiders can't start playing too conservatively or it's all over for them.
That's right.
7 minutes remaining in the game. Shot in the middle and complete. Marc Malone has another Pittsburgh first down. This time Lynn Swan.
Win or lose, this kid has been amazing. He really has.
Swanee coming in from the outside, always a threat. Even if he doesn't catch the ball, he's going to influence the defense. You've seen him make a number of catches like that. He has the ability to go with that ball, slide down, catch it.
He catches that ball better, a ball thrown like that better than anyone I've ever seen.
He really does.
The little hook slide, total concentration. He gets the first down, 22-yard line of the Raiders. Pittsburgh trailing by 10. Malone looking for Cunningham.
Good ball. Well thrown ball to Cunningham.
Well, he was out of bounds.
That was still a beautifully thrown ball.
It really was.
He whipped that one out there.
To you, Marc Malone, you've got it, kid. You're going to be a great star in this league for a long time.
Look at it from the reverse angle, and that ball is right on the money. Cunningham got the first one in, and he couldn't get that
second one out.
Right foot down quick enough.
He tried so hard. Second down and 10. Crowd on his feet. Hendricks on the blitz. Malone.
Again, a good
the ball to Stallworth. And Stallworth will have a first down near the 10-yard line.
If you want to know about time, we're coming down to the 6-minute mark. So there is time.
Dave Browning is going to be right in Malone's face, number 73. Again, another good throw. Stallworth up. We saw Stallworth miss a couple of passes in the early part of the game, but we made mention then this man is the top receiver.
Steelers would be able to get a first down close to the goal line. 5:35. Kenny is offside.
Yeah, he was offside that far a while ago. They didn't, and they're not going to take that.
Thornton. I go ahead with the play, and Thornton is down at the 3-yard line.
Now, would you accept the penalty or negate it?
Let's just see. I'm not sure how far he got down there.
2 yards past the penalty.
I would not accept it if it's down on the 2.
Those are the
About the
options
3.
being explained now to Mike Webster.
What would you do,
McKinney
Giff?
did not make contact, so the play was allowed to continue.
What would you do, Giff?
I believe they marked it, though, on about the 4. Therefore, you'll take that penalty and put it down on the first down and 5 on the 5. I think I'd take that.
That's what I'd do. Yeah. What would you do, Giff?
Well,
I think that's the situation. You save the down if you can.
Offside, defense, decline. Second down.
So
We're all
Pittsburgh
together,
will
right?
take the 5-yard penalty. The down will remain the same.
Well, I think you still leave some area there. It is on the 3-yard line, but it is inside the 3-yard line.
First time in 11 years we've all agreed.
And we were right. They were wrong.
So it's second down. They take the advancement. Malone back looking. Picks off Lester Hayes. What a time to come up with the interception. Oh, the pass intended for Lynn Swan.
And Hayes had that one played all the way, moved inside of Swan. I think
Lester's made a few mistakes tonight. He just redeemed himself totally there. Lester reading him all the way, stepped in front of him. The ball thrown actually a little behind Swan. And Oakland will have first and 10 at the 20-yard line. They maintain their 10-point lead with 5:26 remaining in the game. A tough task ahead now for Pittsburgh. We'll be back.
They'll be 18-1-1.
the last 11 home teams on Monday night have won. That's an interesting stat.
We saw a quick look at Lester Hayes with his 3rd interception of the season. Nothing like last year, but what an important one it was tonight. First and 10, Whittington, right side.
Whittington, the ball carrier.
Raiders now will be thinking about the clock. Reeling off the seconds, looking for first downs. Art Whittington played a major role tonight. Kenny King was shaken up on a 60-yard run to help set up an Oakland touchdown. We understand he, too, was taken for x-rays. Looked as though he had the wind knocked out of him, but it could be something more serious. Second down and 8. Frank Hawkins. And Hawkins, you heard somebody shouting to him, stay in bounds, which he could not do.
Exactly.
Stops the clock at 4:45.
I had that hunch based on the fact that both Bradshaw and Lambert were going to still play.
Playing,
Yeah.
of course.
And
So did I.
Third down and 8. Wilson under pressure. And Wilson can get the first down.
And he did.
Which he does. Bob Coors pursues him, but not until Wilson had picked up the first down.
How about that one for one of your, quote, big first downs?
The good old boys hanging out in Oakland. Say, he gets out of a lot of traffic here. Here comes L.C. Greenwood. He had a little deal on.
Greenwood should have made that tackle. Coors comes back from behind, can't get him in time. First down.
Wilson now on 3 scrambles, 25 yards on the night.
Greenwood cut through clean.
Inside 4 minutes. First down and 10. Hawkins, the rookie from Nevada and Reno, over the left side.
Good news for the Raiders. X-rays negative on Kenny King. Brilliant 61-yard dash by Kenny tonight. One of the key plays, and there have been many in this up and down contest.
Kenny King.
Hawkins is coming out now with a minor limp. Whittington filling in for Kenny King. You can recall Whittington Had a tremendous year as a rookie, over 600 yards rushing. Hurt the next year, replaced by Kenny King last year. He's been a definite factor tonight. 2nd down and 8. Whittington. And Whittington gets out to the 38-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 4.
Good yardage and chewing up time. Exactly what they want to do. He's been more important than those figures show, Frank.
Whittington started to come out, turn around, slip. Now he's going back in.
Any way he can help, he wants to add to it. That's part of the spirit, I guess, he accumulated somewhere in his collegiate career.
In case you missed it, Terry Bradshaw, broken finger, right hand, out 4 weeks. It was almost on an insignificant play. He scrambled, threw the ball, and then went down, and that was it. 3rd and 4. This will be dependent upon where they mark it as to whether it's a 1st down or not with Derek Ramsey.
They're going to call.
Flag has gone down.
Probably going to call Donnie Shell, who was the defender on Derek Ramsey. I don't think he actually got the 1st down with it. Of course, it obviously depends on where they mark it. Personal foul on Pittsburgh. They do have a 1st down.
No longer matters.
Personal foul against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ramsey was close to the 1st. It becomes academic as referee Jim Tunney marks it off down close to the 43-yard line of the Steelers. Here's the call.
Personal foul. Number 31, unnecessary roughness. 15 yards, 1st down.
2:24 remaining in the game.
I also think we've seen a couple of future stars born tonight. Marc Malone and Derek Ramsey.
And Marc Wilson we're seeing really for the 1st time, and he may be around Oakland for a while also.
Frank Hawkins. And Hawkins inside the 40, close to the 38-yard line. Nice run there. Through the traffic, gets 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6, and we're heading towards the 2-minute warning. At the Pittsburgh Steelers 39-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in the game. The Steelers have 3 timeouts, as does Oakland. With Branch in motion for the Raiders. Hawkins, left side.
Frank Hawkins, the ball carrier, stopped by Joe
Navigates his way
Green.
down to the 36-yard line, where Joe Green is there for the stop. And the Pittsburgh Steelers will expend a timeout. 38-yard line. Art Whittington.
Arthur Whittington carrying.
And Whittington gets a couple far short of the 1st down. It'll be 4th down.
There's another man who on the field tonight. Plays that he doesn't appear to be the central figure in. Still ultimately responsible for by the pressures he creates. 2 of the very great organizations in the NFL.
Larry Anderson is back for the Steelers. Steelers have 1:46 on the clock. They have 1 timeout remaining. Ray Guy off the side of his foot again. To remind you, Ray Guy playing tonight with a very sore back. He was in traction twice in the last 2 weeks. We'll see the Raiders, our final Monday night telecast, against the San Diego Chargers. And next week, we'll see Atlanta versus Los Angeles. Hope you'll be with us. Hope you've enjoyed our year. Atlanta mathematically still alive. Los Angeles is not. And it's hard to tell the way this season has gone. They cannot write the Steelers off. They have Cincinnati at home next week. They will, however, tonight fall 2 games behind the Bengals should they go on and lose, as it appears they will.
And that Oakland-San Diego game appears to be much bigger than it was before tonight's game also.
That's true. On 1st down and 10, Malone is back. Cunningham. And Benny Cunningham navigates his way to the 41-yard line for a 1st down as the seconds tick away. 1:25 and moving.
Lester Hayes tried for another interception, got there a little late. The ball zipped right under.
6-man defensive backfield for the Raiders. Pittsburgh goes underneath to Franco Harris. He gets 8 yards. hit there by Mike Davis. After the Steelers for Cincinnati next week, their final game will be against Atlanta. And the Steelers will close out their season the final Sunday of the year against Houston. Malone. Lynn Swann, they say yes. And Swann stops the clock with 53 seconds and another first down for Pittsburgh.
Green Bay, and the latter particularly will be very difficult.
Malone to Thornton. Another Steeler first down to the 31-yard line.
Complete to Sidney Thornton.
Ted Hendricks made the stop.
And in the NFC, there are so many teams with playoff possibilities at 7-7. Only Werner von Braun could tell you about it.
Franco Harris will scramble to get out of bounds, and he stops the clock with 28 seconds after a pickup also of 7 yards.
Werner von Braun.
San Francisco has already clinched the Western Division of the NFC. Dallas is assured a wild card. But after that, well, the computers are whirling.
What I was saying, Don, which you quickly understood, was it had all of the complexity of a problem in nuclear physics.
Yes, Werner von Braun.
Of course.
That's, yes. Oh.
Second down, 4.
Give me a break.
Malone with a lot of time, and this one almost picked off again by Lester Hayes. Dr. Frank, our stats and research man, minimum of 4 weeks. That would, of course, take him into the playoff season. Sidney Thornton. Thornton has the first down. Ted Hendricks made the stop. And the final timeout called by the Pittsburgh Steelers with 16 seconds remaining in the game.
He's a little ridiculous, but I mean, that was the feeling I got off of it.
First down and 10, 17-yard line. Malone back again.
Look at that.
Complete to
Look at
Smith,
that.
and Smith is in the end zone with 10 seconds remaining on the clock.
That's a coach. That's a man.
Jim Smith, his second touchdown of the night from young Marc Malone. He is really some fine receiver. They have 3 as good as any around.
You can see him giving him plenty of room, Frank. It's like, hey, look, we'll let you even have this touchdown.
Of course.
And that particular Dwayne Osteen didn't really make that much of an effort to keep him out of the end zone, which is a little unusual because crazy things do happen, but not with 10 seconds.
David Trout, hard in his throat, puts it through the uprights.
Score Oakland 30.
Pittsburgh is drawn to within 3. They have 10 seconds. They have no timeouts.
In the vein of what Don said, do you remember the game when suddenly the ball went to Franco Harris?
I do.
And they beat Oakland, and Al Davis has never gotten over it.
One of those, I guess, one of the most remarkable plays in the history of the NFL.
No, these teams have played such remarkable games through the year, they're indescribable.
But you look at Oakland's record, now it is more than likely to be 18-1-1 on Monday Night Football, and they have beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers the last 5 times they've played. It is a very fierce rivalry.
Tom Flores, what a tough year for him. In his second year, he took the team to the Super Bowl and saw so many injuries early in the year.
And Jim Plunkett, too, Frank.
This will be your onside kick. And it will not go far enough. It had to travel 10 yards. And now Oakland will be able to just run the timeout. The flag is down, by the way. That's marked, I believe, where the ball was hit by a Steeler after 8 yards.
Inside the 45. So that's a dead ball. They got to take it back.
Mel Blount tried to knock it forward with a sneaky little punch.
Illegal touching of the ball. Decline. Oakland recovered the ball. First down.
Well, and Pittsburgh has no further timeouts. This one is history. And Marc Wilson has now won 5 and lost 3 in his 8 starts. Well, we'll see the Oakland Raiders again on our final Monday night telecast against the San Diego Chargers.
There, Frank. What a remarkable athlete he is. What a big part of the Pittsburgh Steelers' success Franco Harris has been.
Part of ours, I might say, too. Over the years, Franco Harris, the most prolific ground gainer ever on Monday night. And there it is. The final score, 30-27, Oakland over Pittsburgh.